Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Washed Athlete Podcast. That was an epic failure, but
Wow.
as I was going to say, we are not trying to be washed anymore because today we have brought out all of our vitamins and medicines because, why not? I think it all started with Jacob taking some multivitamins, and now we just brought out our whole stack. So you know what? We're starting this episode of the podcast. Unfortunately, Peter cannot join us today, but we are going to start with explaining our stack of vitamins and medicines we take in a daily basis. So, Raj, I see you out there already making a mess, and I want to know what is in that stack.
So for starters, we have the fish oil, very essential to muscle growth, and it is very good for you.
Absolutely.
On top of that, we have ashwagandha. It's a herbal supplement. It has a lot of claims of things it can do. Some are proven, some are just maybe placebo. I don't know. We'll find out in a month if it worked or not. And so you can go on buckedup.com and use watch 20 for 20% off for bucked up melatonin. This tastes like Welch's and it's really good. Trust me, I use this all the time because I have insomnia, basically.
Hopefully, link will be in the description. I'll try to remember to link it.
Eventually. And yes, we also have the adult multivitamins. These are also crack. But yeah, and then the rest of my stack is creatine, pre-workout, protein shake, Fairlife, yeah.
That's fair enough. And now we are going to move over to Jacob because we want to know what's in that stack. We see a lot of Nature's Bounty over there. Maybe a sponsorship incoming?
Potentially, not possibly, and potentially, just potentially. So,
I'll inquire.
Yeah. So basically, one day after I was at the gym with Raj and Peter, we went over to CVS, and I was told to get these three items from CVS, and obviously I bought them, and I've not taken my second for the day, so I got to take these two gummies. And I also have to take this one fish oil. And then my fourth piece is my ADHD medicine. So
that's quite the impressive stack that you got over there.
Thank you.
Now, Andres, we're gonna move it to you. What is in your stack that is not pictured? We're keeping it ominous.
All right, so not pictured and not in my stack today. Usually iron supplements. What else do I usually take? Some fish oil, omega-3. And yeah, that's not pictured, or not what you're not about to see. So now it's allergy season, pollen, spring, like that's just how it is. Got the allergy relief daily loratadine tablets, 10 milligram antihistamine. 24-hour relief of sneezing, runny nose, itchy watery eyes, itchy throat or nose. All the anti-allergy stuff. So take that on a daily basis. Usually balance between this, Claritin, or just whatever CVS is given because, we balling on a budget out here. So got the CVS brand, eye allergy relief. Eyes
Essential.
Get watery, they get red. It's just needed. What you say, Raj?
No, keep going. I was about to ask Jacob something.
Okay. Got the Kirkland brand adult multivitamins, not the Nature's Bounty. Because Costco. Not really a supplement or anything, but in case you ever get injured, gotta have or cut Neosporin. Always nice to have. Melatonin. I do not have the gummies like Raj, but they are very good. I have to plug them. I have the Puritan's Pride Premium Super Strength Melatonin. Little pills, 10 milligrams. We only use extra strength out here because the normal ones, they don't do anything to me. So gotta use this. And then last but absolutely not least, it's just an essential, especially coming from a Latin household. You gotta have the Vicks. This isn't really a big Latin thing. This is just like a saline like nasal spray in case you get congested or something. But it was Vicks. It's Vicks brand, so I had to comp. And then, as many people know this as Vicks Vapor Rub, I was raised knowing this as Vicks Vaporub. And, you put it on the chest, whatever, clears. It just, it's the cure to everything. Like, Hispanic moms, even dads, grandmas, your abuelas, this is the cure, man. You're feeling congested, you have something going wrong. That Vicks Vaporub, that gets the job done.
Or your shoulder ligament.
Wherever I'm living, this comes with me. All right. So, Vicks Vaporub, Vicks, please sponsor me. You're a big part of my life, big part of my family's life. Thank you, Vicks. I appreciate it.
I actually have one other thing. So I have some bass adjacent because the other day I burnt my forearm and thumb,
Imagine almost being taken out by water.
but I didn't go to
Imagine.
the hospital, so
I
I was
don't
okay.
care. I
I
don't
did.
care.
It really hurt, but I did not go to the
I
hospital, and I
don't
was
care.
not close to passing out. So
I don't
um,
care.
I definitely made sure to see, like, made sure I was okay and I wasn't going to need to go to the hospital before I told you guys, especially given the amount of crap I gave Raj for having gotten taken out by a cut on his finger. And as you can imagine, spilling boiling hot water on yourself is very painful. Um, you know, yeah, but we recovered, we bounced back, and I think that's going to leave a pretty cool scar. So
That's really what it's about. We're all trying to be
Focus it
Zuko out
again.
here.
Can't even see it
Exactly.
anymore.
And now, before Justin, I don't want to cut you off yet, or before you even start, but if we're talking about things we use to treat our injuries, I'm using Icy Hot right now, put it on the shoulder. I've used it any form of anything like this throughout my athletic career because I've dealt with many, many injuries. So it's a rotation between Icy Hot, Ben Gay, or Tiger Bomb. Tiger Bomb, I will say, during my cross country career was clutch. So
Wait,
yeah.
what? Why don't you just use ice?
Well, ice. I don't have ice on me 24/7. This, you just put it on and you're good to go.
I've never taken anything like icy hot or anything for injuries. I've just the good old ice or the good old compression wrap or something like that.
Yeah. Jacob, I'd like to inquire about your ADHD medication, given that Justin and I have an exam coming up. So, where'd you get that? I had to.
well,
No, don't say where you got it. I just
You don't, Raj, no.
it's prescription. So
Yeah, I know. But speaking of
Yeah.
exams, Justin and I have a very fun experience.
Hold on one
taking-
second. I need to
We
get
gotta
through the
hear-
stack
we got-
real
we
quick.
got- yeah,
I gotta
we
get through the
gotta
stack.
Oh,
We
we're
gotta
not
go
done
through
yet?
Justin's stack. We gotta go through the
Yeah.
stack.
I would
We're
take
a
I would
little
take the
bit
stack.
more about the
This is
ADHD
not free.
episode.
This is not free advertisement over here unless we
I
get
mean, it
sponsored.
kinda is.
Well, yeah, I know that's why we got to get through it. So real quick, vitamin C. If you haven't taken it, you got to take it. I have not gotten sick in a while during this pandemic, and I tested to the vitamin C. So good old trusty, right? Multivitamins, got to be taking multivitamins. Like if on like real talk for a minute, if you're not taking a multivitamin, there's no reason not to take a multivitamin.
It's a lock.
Lock, automatically lock. Boom. Then fish oils, Nature Bounty as well. We're gonna try to get sponsored by Nature's Bounty. Clutch. I started taking these this year, and I don't really know if they help or if my D was low to begin with, but nonetheless, it's good. And also, these don't taste like fish oil. A lot of people were telling me like when I started taking these, I would like burp out fish smell. They don't. It doesn't work. So works well. Then we got the Maintenance Inhaler. Take 2 puffs when you wake up, 2 puffs before you go to sleep, right? And then you got the actual inhaler before you go and do exercise. So you got that. And then not pictured, you got some allergy medicine and some probiotics. Make sure you take a probiotic and improves your gut health a ton. So that is what is cooking in my stack. And then the occasional Tylenol when I get a headache.
Interesting.
I'm
You
an
know what?
Excedrin
That's
kind of
good.
guy for
We're
headaches.
gonna need Tylenol and Excedrin for when we take this exam on Thursday.
Indeed, we do. Because if, as viewers, you may not know, in our recent episode, so I think we've talked about it a little bit, but Raj and I are taking biochemistry over the summer here at Pitt. We can't really take it with our course load our junior year of college, so we have to kind of get a little bit ahead and take it over the summer. And Raj, I do not know about you, but I thought summer classes were going to be easy, not too hard, and manageable. And I feel like biochemistry is anything else but that over the summer.
Nope, I 100% agree with you because when I took it out of CC, it was like, honestly, it was physics.
A community
1 and-
college.
Yeah, and it was physics 1, like, it's a difficult class. I went in and I was just like, okay, this is really not that bad. And then I'm same mentality coming into biochem, thinking, hey, it's a 6-week course. They can't give us anything insane because we're learning everything so quickly. So it's just going to be simple memorization, plug and chug. Turns out it is not.
Yeah, not at all.
Is there a 12-week option?
No.
Not for this class.
Ooh.
Which I think that is the worst. So for people who don't understand Pitt or don't go to college or whatnot, our semester here at Pitt is typically like 12 weeks long. I think maybe it could be 13, but like pretty much for the most part 12 weeks long. And then over the summer, they divide classes up until 6-week periods, 12-week periods, or there's an occasional 9-week period for certain classes. And there was no option for 12-week biochem, which would have been typical length, typical speed. So instead, you're taking a class in half the amount of time. Now, for me, I was like, that's not going to be that bad. I was like, I've taken some other science courses. Like I was like, I can definitely move faster. Like I'm not going to be as busy in the summer. No big deal. That absolutely wrong. It's completely illogical because six weeks is no joke. We have an hour and 45 minutes of lecture 4 days a week, and we have another 15-minute class twice a week. So I think it's around like 8.5 hours of class a week. Not to mention like we have homework due every single day, and it's so much material. And like I don't know how I like thought this wasn't going to be that bad. Like I knew I would be busy, and I mean I also work pretty much full time, and do some other stuff. And we all of us on the pod like to stay active and hit the gym and whatnot. So like definitely time commitments, but God, it takes so much energy, and I am just drained from to studying for this recent exam.
I hate biochem.
So PSA to anyone out there who may be inquiring about taking a summer class or whatnot, like I recommend you really think about it, because I've told people in the past that I've like mentored or whatnot that like don't take classes from community colleges if they're really important. Like if you're pre-med and you're taking organic chemistry at a community college, don't do that. It looks really bad on like your transcript. Like you don't want that. It looks like you took the easy way out. But if you need basic like math classes to get out of, basic science classes, like sure, go ahead. And like that's fine in the summer. But I was like, this is good. I'm gonna get ahead. And now I'm so drained. I'm like, we have roughly like 2.5 weeks left of this class. And I'm like, once I'm done, I'm gonna just like do no work for like an entire week besides like my job, because I'm like, I cannot look at another like textbook. I cannot sit in another lecture. It is just so much work. And then we got to turn this right around and do the MCAT in a couple weeks.
You know what? Respect for you for actually going to lecture still. I gave up on that.
Well, Raj, we knew you weren't. Like, I was shocked you showed up on the first day.
The funny thing is, I showed up late on the first day.
Did you? I think you did. Yeah, I remember this. For obviously people listening, you don't know, this class can be taken asynchronously, so you don't need to show up to actual lecture time. You can just watch the recording back later.
Which I don't.
And lecture starts at 9 a.m. And Raj pretty much doesn't sleep till 3 or 4 a.m. on a given day. So is that a 5?
Yeah.
5. So like Raj doesn't really quite make the class. Now I always get up, go to work, and I take class at work just so I'm like up and out of the building. So like it helps me get to class. I don't know if we're showing up to class tomorrow. I'm gonna be honest.
Nope.
I need to add a personal anecdote on Raj's not showing to class.
Here we go.
Living with Raj last year, we were like in the same room. We were roommates. It would be like Raj would have like a class. It could range between 9 a.m. It could be like 12. It could be 1, whatever. He'll wake up, like his alarms will go off. He'll wake up for a second, and then he'll just be like, "Nah, go back to sleep."
That's funny.
And the best part of all of this is Raj, do you have 4 8 a.m.s next semester?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I think you're in all my classes with me. So yeah, we have classes that start
at...
I have to. I can't.
Yeah, there's no other option. So like our way our program works, so we are both rehabilitation science majors. So our classes are taught by a lot of people who actually practice like medicine or like physical therapy or occupational therapy. So like it's likely that our like issues in healthcare, our human anatomy teacher probably is a PT somewhere. Yeah. So like he needs to teach the class in the morning for an hour and 45 minutes and then go to work. So like all of our classes start super early, which is cool because like, I don't know, you kind of get class in the morning, get out of the way, but that's not how college works. Like college is very much like if you have a 9 a.m. class, that is considered early, nonetheless 8 a.m. So I don't know if it'll be a big problem for me. I'm waking up at 7:30 most days here anyway, but Raj is really going to struggle. Like I'm concerned. There's going to be plenty of days I'll be sitting in the lecture hall, ready to go, ready to learn some human anatomy. I'm just going to be like, is Raj coming? It's 7:59. Is Raj going to show up? Text Raj. Raj, are you here? His phone's on Do Not Disturb. And I get a text at 2 p.m. like, oh man, I just woke up. What did I miss?
Hear me out. Once I actually have to wake up for these classes, because one, they're not recorded.
So no, they're not going to be recorded.
So I'm going to have to go. So like I'm kind of forced to go to bed early. The difference is this summer class, first day, as soon as she said, yeah, I'm recording everything. Everything's recorded. Everything can be done asynchronously. I took that as my cue to why am I waking up?
I think there was 25 people in lecture today. It
You
was
know what? I'm not going to name drop the professor, but her lectures can be very slow and boring at times, or not slow at all, fast and boring, which is
yeah.
even worse.
I was like definitely not slow. We there's no shortage of fast
Not slow.
learning happening in biochem. But yeah, so Raj, you're definitely gonna struggle, and I guess we can just talk about it, boys. Like, what are your schedules looking like for next semester?
Same as you.
I don't even know, to be honest.
I would have to check.
I'd have
but,
to look. I haven't even thought about school.
Econ heavy next semester.
Comp sci heavy.
Without saying, without. Yeah, I would have to check to see exactly what. My most difficult class will probably be, I think, intermediate micro or macro. I can't remember which one I'm taking, but yeah.
Yeah, mine's comp sci and then Spanish for the Spanish minor and probably public
Oh, yeah.
speaking for the gen ed.
Spanish minor.
Spanish
Let's go.
minor gang.
Yeah. What? I'm taking
You're taking.
grammar.
Yeah, I'm taking speaking. So me and Jacob, we had Spanish last fall. It was a great time.
Legendary class.
It was. It'll go down in history.
It was. I think it was just you, me, and Molly that made it like a legendary, and Rene. Other than that, like especially like the last day was so anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
always
carried that. We carried
Yeah.
that class.
We would always race to class too.
Like you raced the school lunches.
Yes. But yeah, we would race to class. We'd always until it got like too cold outside, we would be staying outside in front of the fountain, and then we would go into the actual building. I don't know. It was just fun. It was a class I enjoyed. Andres beat me a total of one time too.
That was the greatest upset of all time, though.
It had to have been. The entire semester, you beat me class once. I guess it had to have been.
My favorite part of Andres being a Spanish minor is he's pretty much fluent in Spanish, so he probably just shows in the class and it's just like, puedo ir al baño, por favor.
No, I like chilling. I like chilling with the teachers.
Well,
Yeah, but that's all you do. You just chill. Like, you don't have to pay attention.
No, I can testify to the fact that he would
I
it
show up
was
to make friends.
pretty clear that he knew exactly what he was saying. He was pretty well versed, and there was. I mean, for the speaking class you're gonna be taking, you're gonna be chilling.
Yeah.
You should not be concerned. You're probably grammar. I'm assuming was more difficult for you than speaking.
Well, that's the same for English because it's just like writing. It's just writing, but in Spanish.
So yeah, no, that class you clearly knew what you were talking. I mean, you clearly were able to speak pretty well in that Spanish class. But yeah,
unfortunately,
I don't know if that class will ever happen again. So, well, at least Molly can't be there because Molly won't be there because she's not doing the minor. But maybe after this upcoming semester.
So our viewers out there, Molly is a good friend of ours who is in our Spanish class as well.
Also an avid fan of the podcast.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh,
yeah.
Me and
avid
Jacob,
hater of me.
Yep, and rightfully so. I'm just kidding. All I will say
no,
is
you said it.
You've done that yourself.
So.
But no, me and Jacob won't be in the same Spanish class, sadly. Again, it'll be a 2-semester long streak because we took different paths. But hopefully, spring we can reunite.
Yeah. We'll have to see.
The love story we never knew we needed.
It's a fun time. Me and Jacob we bring the vibes to the Spanish class.
I remember one of the classes that the new Pokemon game came out. This was actually the one class you beat me to.
This dude brought his Switch, and he had left his Joy-Cons at our place, and he texted me a few nights before, whatever, or the night before. Don't forget Joy-Cons, whatever. I was like, okay, I won't. And then I shocked him.
Raj that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so he brought the Joy-Cons. So for the first maybe 5 minutes of class, I was just there and then the teacher Irene didn't even tell me to put away the Switch or anything. I was kind of surprised, but then she was all right.
Well, I think it depends. I think it depends with class size, right? Class size has a big role in that. I mean, if you're sitting in our organic chemistry lecture with 200 people, no one cares. But when you're in a 25-person sized cathedral learning room that everyone's neck and neck to each other. I remember one time in one of those classes, it was written professional communication. It was at 8 a.m. on Tuesday and Thursdays, and I was probably up the night before until 3 a.m. because I think something had come up with my job, and then I was we had to answer some kind of question or like this like talk about it or think about it, and then like this reading, and then come back and like talk about it as a class. So I just put my head down, and this teacher comes up to me and is like, "There's no sleeping allowed in class." I was like, that was in that moment. That moment, I almost lost it. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, it's like you don't understand like the willpower to like show up to
And
class
be there.
today.
Yeah.
I slept like 4 hours to get to and got to class here today. So I was like, I literally like rose up like just like okay, and then just like sat there, just drinking my coffee.
Yeah,
Should have
those
But
just not
Kathy
gone.
classes are high school, like they're legit high school like type classes because it's
yeah,
like 20 people in a small classroom, the small desks all packed together. It's legit a
Yeah.
high school like class.
It's terrible. I
Yeah.
hate it.
but I think it is also refreshing after being in some big lectures. I mean, we have all been COVID kind of ruined it a little bit because they were online, so it didn't feel like that. But like, especially going into this year, like, and Jake, I think you took some like bigger econ classes, probably like where you've got 150 people in a lecture, 200 people in a lecture, and like it's so weird because you have no connection with your teacher at all. And the only way to
Yeah.
get in contact with them is go up after office hours and whatnot. Um, you don't know a lot of people in the class, but it is cool. Like I took a history class this past semester, and you could just see the same people every day. And the professor like knows your name because you like it's a class. It's a pretty discussion heavy class, so I think it's cool. It's a good change of pace from like biochem, physics, organic chemistry, biochemistry. It's a good change of pace in terms of like interacting with professors. And Anders, I'm sure your class sizes are just going to keep shrinking and shrinking and shrinking as you
I mean,
progress, right?
for Spanish for sure, comp sci. Um, I guess once I'm done like the core classes, because after there's like these upper level electives which are more like niche, so that you like choose what you want to do. But for like the core classes, they're just big lectures. But yeah, it'll eventually shrink. And like no, I think it's like you said, it's refreshing to have like these smaller classes. Like I like the balance of like the lecture hall classes and then this, but I'll admit this, like in lectures, like I'm pretty disconnected. Like I'll zone out a lot, but in these and like you'll make some friends, sure, but it's in these like smaller classes that's where you make like some friends and you just have like it's very engaging. Like you're always on your toes in those classes.
100%.
Now,
I
oh, go ahead, Drew.
100%. No, I 100% agree. I prefer like this. Like I came from a small school, so I did like going to like Pitt, um, where there would be classes where there would be like 100 plus people. That would be bigger than like my entire grade, like in high school. So like it was a total like it's totally different. Um, but going back and having those classes where they are smaller and you get to like your teacher might know your name or something like that. It's awesome. I like it. I prefer those classes honestly.
Now, when you're in a small class and there's a lot of discussion, like how do you guys handle like when teachers say, "Oh, like what did we think about this reading?" or "Do we have any thoughts on this reading?" or like they ask a question about the reading, like are you going to answer it? Are you going to just not answer at all costs? Are you going to like wait until it's awkward? And so like how do you guys interact with those type of classes? Because I think a lot of people interact very differently.
Well,
Yeah,
it
so
depends on if you did the reading. Like,
Okay.
that's true. But
Okay.
yeah,
Well, obviously you're
that's
not going to.
reason number one.
yeah,
Yeah, okay. Assuming we did the reading.
Okay. There's many factors. I would say one depends on the class. Two, who your teacher is, like if they're pretty chill, whatever. And three, who's in the class. Like if you have chill classmates, then you're like, I would say I'd be more inclined to speak up or whatever. I just wouldn't care. Like on our Spanish class, I'd be just chatting away,
Well, yeah,
whatever.
because
yeah,
you're fluent in Spanish.
No. But
yeah.
like I
That
said,
like
depends.
it was
Like I
different.
said, depends on the class and who's in the class.
Like this past semester with my Spanish class, I wasn't as talkative because
Me
like
too, honestly.
the teacher wasn't like I did. The teacher was like super nice and all, but I preferred the teacher from last semester and the class overall from last semester. So like the last like that class with Andres and Molly, like I'd be just talking and like responding to this like the teacher if she asked a question, even if I had like no idea what the answer possibly could have been. Like quite honestly, there were several times where like nobody would be saying anything. I'd be like, you know what, screw it. I'll just like give an answer just to give an answer. So yeah, I think it definitely. I think Andre's just right. It definitely depends on like the vibe of the class, and
Mhm.
then you know, yeah, I guess how comfortable you feel with the teacher than like I guess your rest of your classmates.
I simply just did not speak in English all semester. It was at 9 a.m. I did not do a single one of the readings because I hate English with a passion. I went to class because it was participation, so I was forced to go to class.
You are giving yourself a great like just this is a perfect sales pitch to any medical schools that want
You
you.
know what? Hear me. In medical schools, let me just put this out there right now. Medical schools, you cannot use anything I say on this podcast against my medical school application, or I will pursue legal action. Okay, moving on from that.
Another anecdote for Raj. Another anecdote to actually like, counteract that. So I will say he puts a lot of effort towards like the stuff that's relevant to the MCAT. Like I was like I'll like for his English class or whatever, he just doesn't like he's just it's whatever. But like for like those MCAT like Orgo, I saw this kid grinding like day after day in day out. Like he just be grinding. And so for Raj, it's really if like he is actually kind of interested in the class, or if he has to be interested, then he'll actually put effort towards it.
So to the
Yes.
double AMC, please listen to Andres and not Raj.
Yes. Whatever I say, take it like a grain of salt.
Andres' opinions back in his boy are gospel.
Exactly. But
No,
like that English class was so beat. I did not want to be there. It was a prereq. I was forced to take it.
What
mhm.
class was it?
It was critical writing.
Yikes, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, it was. I hated it.
Written professional communication was the wave. Like we just wrote like memos and like wrote a resume and like just kind of like responded to professional documents and whatnot. It was like super easy. It's just like you address people formally, you say what you want, like the intention. It was like super like just basic writing, and
Why did I do that to myself? Whatever.
it
I
was
made it
great.
through. I got the A. I don't care.
Mhm.
I did what I needed to do and I got out of it. And this does not in medical schools if you're listening again. This does not discredit my work ability for anything. If I'm forced to well, I mean if I'm interested in something, I'll do it. If I'm forced to do something, I'll still do it. It doesn't matter. Same effort goes in.
That yeah, that's fair. My always problem with these like discussion based classes has been I love to talk and give my opinion on things. That's part of the reason that I like love doing the podcast is like I like to share my thoughts and opinions, especially if I like done the reading and whatnot. And not a lot of other people feel that way in these classes. And I get to a point where I can't share my thoughts and opinions because I'm like I will be portrayed as like a know-it-all when I just want all my other classmates to also fill in on the discussion. So it'll be a nice back and forth. We used to have these things called like Socratic seminars in middle school, and like people, you pretty much had to talk because like you'd get points for your grade for it. But it was awesome because other people would talk, so then I could talk more without feeling like a know-it-all. But like in like especially in this like history class, like I'd answer like two questions back to back because no one else was answering. There was awkward silence, and then when we got to like the third question, I was like, I can't say anything else because I'm like I know I will be portrayed as a know-it-all. I don't want to come across as a know-it-all, but like I want to share my opinions because I'm very opinionated, very like discussion based person. So I'm like, it's always been extremely frustrating because I'll be like, I'll, it's so frustrating because I just want everyone else to talk, so I don't have to seem like a know it all.
It really depends on the content for me at least. Like for the most part, like, I can say like 9 times out of 10 for Socratic seminars, I would be just like sitting there not knowing what to say, and I know that I have to speak, so I'd just be thinking of like the most random thing to say. Like I'd force in a little piggybacking off of blah 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 because that's what you got to do. Like Jacob and Ross, you guys do that too, or is that just me?
Dude,
No, 100%.
Socratic Seminar 101 and 102 in high school. I only spoke at the last 2 minutes so I could get
Yeah,
my points and call it a day.
exactly. For the most part, that's exactly. So
Wow,
Justin, you're an outlier there.
I guess I
I feel
am. I don't like. I would like to talk.
See, if
I
it's a subject besides English, I will speak. But if it's English, I don't speak. I
well, it would
don't
be
like it.
it would be different if like we read a book that was like something I enjoyed. So like if we had to going into freshman year, and then like during the first part of freshman year of high school, we had to read Jane Eyre. So if we had like a Socratic seminar for that, I can't remember if we did or not, but like that book was dreadful. So there's no way that I would want to read some like participate in a Socratic seminar for that. And then if I was, likely is that I'm probably going to say something, you know, almost like basically like there wouldn't be a whole lot more to say. or something that I would find very interesting and like consider actually raising a point to it, I'd probably have to just wait until there's like, oh, that one thing that I find interesting.
Well,
and
see,
feel
but that's what I'll do. Like if I don't read something or like don't really like follow it closely, like I say I read half of the summer reading book and then Spark noted the rest of it or whatnot, I'll latch on to what I know. And then right when I can mention it, I'll like put it in there and be like, "Yep, I read the whole book." And like I don't know, like I just like to be like I like to see what people will say back to it. Like if I'm like, "Oh yeah, like I love this part of the book. Like I thought it was really reflective of like the tone or whatnot," and then just leave it there. And it's like if people were actually trying to pick apart my logic, like it wouldn't make any sense because like it's only like half the story. That would be like talking about a movie and being like, well, it was really cool when the Avengers like lost Infinity War and that was awesome. And you're like, but they came back and they won like an Endgame and be like, we're not talking about that. And it's like you just like leave out part of that. Like that's what I would do, but no one would mention the other side. Other people didn't care. Um, so I remember we had a Socratic seminar and one of my history classes in middle school, I think, or high school. And we were talking about like should the bomb have been dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And I think I was on the side that I didn't want to be on because it wasn't the side like I agreed with. Because like you didn't get to choose your side, you got forced into your side because you had to be like objective, like look at the arguments pro and con away from your beliefs. And that was like I was like trying to hammer it in there. I was like anyone could have totally believed that I was like a supporter of this side because I was like, I will destroy all their side with facts and logic. But I miss the days. I feel like people in middle school were more willing to talk. I don't know. It was probably because I was like in enrichment classes and a lot of other people felt the same way. But like in college, just the energy level has dropped so much. And I'm like, I feel like maybe it's because I'm in a position of science. I'm like rambling here, but like those classes, like my history classes, like they're way more like relaxed and engaging and like less stressful than my science classes. Like I feel like I go to those classes, I can like let it off a little bit, but like in my science class, it's like your face is in the notes the entire period, just trying to like write everything down. And then I get to like history, and I'm like, okay, I can read 10 pages and talk about it.
Justin, I have a question.
I feel the complete opposite.
Yes, Andres.
I was gonna say, were you the type in Socratic seminar to play devil's advocate and then explicitly say that you're playing devil's advocate?
No, I wouldn't. So okay, so really funny story. Mom, if you're listening, my mom tells you she's playing devil's advocate all the time, and especially I understand it more now because I'm like I think I'm a lot like her in certain senses, but like when I was young, I'd be complaining about something, right? And she'd be like, okay, but playing devil's advocate here. And it used to piss me off so much. I was like, Mom, I don't care if you're playing devil's advocate. Like, because she would be like, I agree with you, but listen to their point of view. And I was like, no, Mom, like, that's not the point here. Like, I don't want that. But no, I wouldn't tell people I was playing devil's advocate. I would just be like, but listen here. This is how it's going to be. It's like, you got to see my point of view. But no, I didn't. I was kind of rude in middle school, especially. So like, I probably would have just told people they were wrong. I would not have called them stupid, but I would have just told them they were outright wrong. I'm just going to be honest here. Had a good character arc over the years. But no, in middle school, I probably would have just told you were wrong and have been rude if we're going to be honest.
What books do you guys read in like history and English classes in middle school and high school, if you can remember?
Bro, we had a podcast episode about this.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, we did. We have talked
World
about
history
this.
and American history.
But that's not books you read.
Because you said history. You said history, dude.
We read sections of
history and English
textbooks.
class.
In English, was it To Kill a Mockingbird, Great Gatsby?
Standard.
Classic.
I forgot.
Did you guys read Lord of the Flies?
No,
Nope.
you had some weird books, Jacob. You've been talking about these books.
Lord of the Flies. No, I read Lord of the Flies.
Lord of the Flies is an absolute banger.
It doesn't sound like a banger.
It's I will vouch for it.
Andres, Flowers for Algernon.
Oh my god, that is just sad. That is sad.
Dude, we didn't even read that good version.
Yeah, we read it. We've read a censored version. I think being in a 8th grade middle school class, maybe that was for the best.
I don't care. I wanted to read the full.
No, I mean I don't read. That wouldn't affect me, but like, geez, dude, that is a story.
I've not read that. So
we had
Fire.
I doubt any of you guys had to, but we had to read Hidden Figures going into my senior year. It was like the way it would work is like they would give the whole entire school a book. they had to read that was like the reading level was low enough that like incoming freshmen could also read it. And like we would just have like class discussions about it, pretty much just to make sure everyone's like reading over the summer or whatnot. In this book, Hidden Figures, I've actually heard the movie is really good, and the content of the book itself is really good. It's about these African American women who helped like NASA, but they didn't like get Apollo 11 on the moon, but they didn't get like a lot of credit, and they were really like they were like really broke into the field, especially as women and of color during the time. But the book itself is so dreadfully boring. My grandmother, who loves reading, we were telling her about the book that we were reading, and she was like, "Oh, this sounds really interesting. Like, I'm gonna go read it." And she's like, she to this day she always mentions how awful of an idea it was to read this book, and like she has all the time in the world to do what she wants to do. So like this is really no skin off her back, and she's like, it was a complete waste of my time. But then the movie came out, and I think the movie has really good reviews. And I have not seen the movie yet, but I'm like, the book was so dreadful.
I don't
I
remember the last time I
can't.
read a book like for pleasure.
It's honestly been a minute for me.
Do you guys like reading though? Like, because I'm someone I genuinely do enjoy reading like books, especially like fantasy books and whatnot. But like, I just don't feel like with the time. I hate being like I don't have the time, but like, I don't know. I don't have enough time to commit to it.
See,
I
like
did.
I used to, but then I hit a plateau where it's like, oh, I have to read this for English. I have to read this for science. I have to read this for history. I hate reading.
Yeah, I would
I
say
feel
like
that's you can go.
no, I was just gonna say like I feel like forced to read books that just aren't interesting in high school kind of ruined all of our like for reading, and like now like I could confidently say for the most that's a good book.
No, I
Great-
didn't like
great
that
book.
book.
I like that book.
Did not like this.
For most of us, I'd say that like if we have free time, we're probably not gonna read. Like
You can't-
we'd rather play video games,
No
watch a
comment.
show, or just play sports or something. Like reading just isn't something we do. And the Kane Chronicles is a good series. I like it. But
The Kane
I did-
Chronicles
I-
is. Don't say any shade on the Kane Chronicles.
I
You
don't
can get out of here.
Not like the Kane Chronicles. You know, I was
Here we
a fan
go.
of the Percy Jackson series. Kane Chronicles. I liked
The OG.
I would like it Percy Jackson than the Heroes of Olympus series, and I preferred when Percy was the narrator as opposed to when Jason was the narrator.
Mm-hmm.
Just
No
because
question.
Percy came first. Like
Percy
literally, that's the
is
only
that
reason.
guy.
Percy is in fact that guy, and then Kane Chronicles. I could just never get into Kane Chronicles for whatever reason.
It was
I-
solid. It's just not as
but-
good as Percy Jackson, the Olympians.
It's not. But like just in general, like I had like a phase of I loved reading like dystopian novels. So like I liked reading the Divergent series.
Hunger
Maze
Games.
Runner series was really
Fahrenheit
good. Hunger
451?
Games was really good. I never actually read that. I actually
Really?
never.
That is
I
the
never read that.
dystopian book.
But I never read it. Maybe I'll have to do something like read it maybe. But like
It's alright.
I liked reading those books, and then once the movies came out, I liked seeing movies, and the movies weren't as good. But now since we're like I was just like instead of reading, I was just like watching YouTube videos because I feel like that's more engaging. It's a lot faster. It gets like it has like a story, gets the story across faster. So it's like, why would I, and it's just showed like some of the like YouTube videos. Like there's this YouTuber called named Mr. Beast. He just gave away.
I love how you had to specify who he was. You're like,
everyone.
There was like, oh yeah, this YouTuber you may have not heard before, Mr. Beast.
If people don't know
pretty sure
Mr. Beast, that's just
everyone
on
has
them,
heard
man.
of him.
Like if they don't know
he is the
Mr.
goat.
Beast, I don't know what to say.
He is the GOAT YouTuber right now. But like he just did a video where he created he recreated Willy Wonka's chocolate factory and had like a legitimate chocolate river. Like that's insane. And that's like YouTube video, and it lasted probably less than 30 minutes. Like, but he probably spent a lot of money on it and a lot of time to develop the create the video. And he literally created a line of chocolate bars and then put golden tickets in the chocolate bars, and that's how the people were selected. Like that's wild.
That's
so
awesome.
like if I can do something and watch something like that, it's going to take less time to do so as opposed to reading like books, and then like that's just something I'd prefer to do. My own opinion.
What's really interesting about what you're saying is it's the complete anti-technology argument. Like you're saying like, oh, I can watch a video and it's going to be shorter and get the point across faster. Like that's anyone who are like says that like technology and like social media are really bad for us, the whole argument's like, oh, it's like instant gratification. Like you don't have to like wait long. You don't need to be patient. Like it's just at your fingertips. And you're like, I hate reading now because it doesn't get to the point and it's not right at my fingertips, which is just really funny because like I don't blame you because I don't think like at the end of the night if I have 30 free minutes before I go to bed, I'm not like, oh, I'll go read during this 30 minutes. I'm like, I'll watch a YouTube video. Like that's more relaxing to me than reading, even though I enjoy reading.
Yeah, I mean, I would also agree with like what Andres was saying. Like there would be like just books that I'd have to read in high school that were just like terribly boring books and like terribly dense books. Like Wuthering Heights is one of the books I had to read. I could not tell you what happened in that book if I had a gun pointed at my head. I would die. Like I couldn't tell you. But like there would just be books like that. So I think it did like decrease the amount that I would want to read. Now like in high school, and then I guess as like more people came out with like cooler and cooler stuff online, I guess I'm getting drawn to watching what like certain YouTubers have to like do, and then as I'm becoming more of a basketball fan and more of a soccer fan, I'd rather just watch a basketball game or watch like a soccer game or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
Obviously football, but that doesn't need to be said.
I don't know if anyone else agrees. I was just thinking about it. Like, for me, I felt like the book era for me was I started reading Harry Potter like in a pretty like short period of time. I started reading Harry Potter, Kane Chronicles, Percy Jackson series, Heroes of Olympus, Divergent, and like Hunger Games. And I felt like that was like the golden era. That was probably like a 6-year period. I did a ton of reading, and all the books were like really cool, dystopian and whatnot. Do you think other like age ranges had a similar thing where they're like, oh yeah, this is like the golden era of like books and reading, or do you think we just like had a really good era growing up of books? Like I wonder if like our parents were like, oh yeah, when I was like in fourth to eighth grade, like these books were banging at the time.
Bias-wise?
Treasure Island, 1984.
I guess
The Giver.
Lord of the
1984 is a
Rings,
good
maybe
book, though.
Lord of the Rings, like back in the day.
I couldn't get through those books, but they're really good.
I read the
Lord of
Hobbit
the Rings
and
or the Hobbit. They're
I did read the
dense.
Hobbit. I read the Hobbit and
The Giver and 1984 were pretty good.
The 1984 is really good.
I read
In terms of bias, I'm going to take our generation.
Charlotte's Web.
Oh no, our generation like you just
Well,
like, I think that's a great that's a great era. Like we all
yeah.
the fact that all four of us like read that just like
Well,
shows,
that's what I'm saying. Like, and if you take out like Harry Potter or something like that, like Hunger Games and Divergent were huge. Where like during our age, so I'm like,
oh, we got the Twilight Saga.
We did.
We didn't read it, but
no.
Did.
I didn't get the Divergent appeal, to be honest.
You didn't read it?
What?
No, I only saw the first movie and I thought it was garbage. It was a waste of time.
The movies are not.
They're not as good as the books.
No, they're not at all.
I thought it was a waste. The movie was a waste of time. I didn't read the books though. The first movie was just a waste of time.
What's funny is, so I had read the whole series and I was a pretty big fan, and Divergent came out. I was like, okay, this is cool. Insurgent came out. I was like, it's not great. Like the movie, and then Insurgent. It was like a surgeon or like the one everyone started with an A. Allegiant, yeah. And so we were going to the movies. Me, my mom, brother, and sister, and Batman v Superman was on, and Allegiant was on, and I was like, my mom and sister, we're gonna go watch Allegiant, and me and my brother went and watched Batman v Superman. And I remember my mom and sister came out of the theater and they were like, that movie was so bad. And me and my brother, like, we hadn't really watched DC, so like I wasn't looking at Batman v Superman through a critical lens. I was like, man, that was dope. Like, and they came out like this movie was garbage. But even though like I had grown up reading those books, I was still like, I'd rather go see Batman v Superman.
As you should. Even though it wasn't objectively, it wasn't a good movie, but there were some entertaining parts.
The only reason why they stopped fighting is because they had their
Martha
have the same name. What?
Yeah, that was. Well, they were like fighting to the death too. It wasn't like this like little bit of like. It's not that like they had a little bit of beef or whatnot. It was like they were full on like pissed off, like gonna kill each other, and then just one name was like, oh, we good now.
I also love DC heroes, so that's why like I just had to see it. Like I'm a
Who's
big
your
Superman guy.
favorite? I guess non like. I guess
DC or Marvel?
pick a favorite DC hero, but don't pick one that's like I guess typical.
Nightwing. Yeah,
Nightwing?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
Nightwing is goated.
on a whole, what is everyone's favorite superhero? Like from any, like just
Th-
overall.
Thanos.
you would say that though.
If this fluctuates.
Thanos was right.
I mean,
Thank
I'll
you.
name like the ones that have been at my number one, but I'll name like my overall. I can decide on overall number one, but definitely first favorite ever superhero was Superman. I've had Superman phase, Nightwing phase, even the Flash
Nightwing
for
was
a bit.
cool.
I would say Black Panther. I had a small phase in 2018. After watching the movie, I was like, damn, I love Black Panther. But I would say overall, like he's been my favorite before, but overall, like it's got to be Spider-Man.
Mm.
That's
I
not
feel
bad.
I feel like if you asked people on the streets like what their favorite super, I feel like Spider-Man would win out.
Yeah, it's a pretty
Over.
vanilla pick, but like,
But it's a good
I just
pick.
got to go Spider-Man.
I just saw the Amazing Spider-Man 1 the other day because it's on Netflix, and it just seems like weird that that's a Spider-Man movie. Like I don't know,
Yeah,
like why.
2 is
But
better.
like,
I thought 2 was better for that.
well, it's
Is
not
that
even
the
that I
one where
don't
Gwen
like
Stacy
the.
drops?
Well, actually, the villain was kind of. I don't know. The movie wasn't the best, but like it just feels like weird that was like, especially having
Spider-Man
seen
movie.
like the Tobey Maguire ones, and then also seeing the Tom Holland ones, and then seeing that, I'm just like, that really is a Spider-Man movie. Wow.
I think if you watched Amazing Spider-Man 1 when it came out, you would probably been like, oh, it's a solid movie. But now that you've seen like everything else that's just better than it, you're just like, ooh, that's not as good. But you kind of have like if you want the emotional payoff in Spider-Man No Way Home, then like you kind of need to watch it.
Watch
So
all of them.
yeah.
I think my first superhero phase probably was Dash, low key, from the Incredibles.
Oh, okay. I like that pick.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I
Like,
love that pick.
Because I was young enough that like I wasn't, very like I didn't know a whole lot about like Marvel and DC like superheroes. So like the first like I guess quote unquote superhero movie I would have seen was The Incredibles, and like I'm not gonna be a fan of Mr. Incredible, Miss Incredible, or Violet. So Dash was
So you're left with Jack or Dash.
well, Jack, not even Jack, but Dash, like he was so cool because he was like so fast. Like he was.
What
like,
about Frozone?
Well, I was younger, so I
He didn't get enough screen
time.
time.
Honey,
Like,
where's my
But
super suit?
he also didn't get enough super screen time. But I mean, in hindsight, I think he's a super cool character.
Yeah,
but like I love the scene, like even today, like where Dash is like at the track meet and he's deciding like what place he
Takes
wants
it
to come
easy.
in. Like that's so cool. Like he's like running, and then his family's like, no, like go like slow down. And they're like, not that like not don't run that slow. And then he speeds up. I would say that's my first.
The best part is when they're at the line. At the line, everyone else looks gassed and he's chilling.
Booling. He's booling.
Yeah.
It's an app. Yeah, I think that was my very first superhero.
Shout out
phase.
Dash. It's my dog's
I
name,
definitely
too.
had. I like the Captain America trilogy. That's my favorite trilogy for all the Marvel movies. So he's probably going to be up there. Black Panther as well. I mean, shit. Would you consider Percy Jackson a superhero? No.
Nah.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh wow, we have really just different opinions on
He's
this.
a hero. He's a hero of his respective series, but he's not like a typical superhero.
I would
I'd
say,
Why
yeah,
not?
typical, but like,
Why
I-
wouldn't you say he's a superhero? He
I don't
doesn't. He
know.
have some supernatural powers.
I just don't. I don't consider him.
well,
a
okay, I
superhero.
think he
It's
doesn't.
subjective. It's subjective.
He doesn't fit our like connotation of a superhero, but like he probably is a super. Same thing with Harry Potter. Like,
Actually, no. Yeah, you could consider him a superhero because of Thor too, in a way.
oh yeah, I think they're.
Yeah.
I think they
Yeah,
are
Huntress.
superheroes. It's just like the
Yeah.
connotation of a superhero is like, oh, I save lives, and like that's not what you get when reading Percy Jackson because it's like
Mhm.
there's an issue at hand.
Yeah.
I can see Percy being a hero.
Then I would also say obviously I've had Arrow, Oliver Queen, without a
Jacob,
doubt.
you're at like 5 superheroes, man. You gotta pick one.
I can't pick one honestly.
course.
And now, just for the sake of saying it, I'm gonna have to go Miguel too, because Cobra Kai.
He's
Miguel
not a
is not a
superhero.
superhero.
He just knows karate.
Brody got his back broken.
Below average karate.
To be fair,
should have
he's the
been
pride
dead.
of the valley. For
He
the
is
pride of the valley.
He didn't even
Soul
win.
of the- it's the soul of the valley.
Hawk is the soul of the
so-
valley.
Yeah.
Hawk
Yeah.
should not have won. If Hawk
We had an extra cycle on this.
If Hawk gets
The
Miguel
second,
out,
was it the second
was his
episode of
first
Second ever
Ever.
episode, first extra cycle.
Yup.
Go watch. It's one of the
Go
most watched
watch
videos
it.
on our pod.
It's a throwback and a half.
Robbie should have beaten Hawk. Just
Oh
saying.
my god.
It was actually long enough ago where we were all squeakers, so a lot has changed since then.
Has it really?
Yeah. A
It's
lot
been
has
like
changed.
6 months, dude.
It was so long ago.
It hasn't even been 6 months. I think it's been like
since
4.
Yeah.
Since then we've grown up and gone to college, so it's been a while.
We're still at college. We've been in college the whole time.
In
started this-
January.
When we were in college.
No,
Yeah.
we were young.
That's
we
how
were
we knew
youngins.
each other.
We recorded it in
youngins.
January.
It was a long time.
Raj was
ago.
probably-
We all look the same.
Raj was already 20.
Yeah.
It was
I'm the same age. Me and
I-
Jacob were the same age when we recorded that pod as we are now.
I guess
Yeah.
me and Justin just have aged since then,
But I must say, I'm not.
We all got
Also, on some random stuff, I not my favorite superhero, but I had the Thing face. He was my pre-K Halloween costume. The Thing from Fantastic Four.
That's a
Interesting.
That's my most random one.
Yeah.
I had a phase where I actually liked DC more than Marvel for a while.
Hmm.
This
Well,
was,
yeah,
like,
for
before-
sure.
Yeah, this was before Avengers came out and everything.
Yeah.
It was the animated universe that actually did it
Absolutely.
for me though. Animated universe, I'll give DC that. They made their animated universe so much better than Marvel did, but Marvel doesn't care about their animation, so
Nope.
I agree 100%.
Favorite superhero is the Flash. I don't know. He just resembles just being fast is just cool, and the TV show was hype. For the first 3 seasons.
Justin,
What are you
what's your
laughing at?
favorite Quote from Flash.
we are the Flash Berry. You're my
Pulls
lightning
out
rod,
his
Iris.
favorite in the Flash.
Listen. The show has gone downhill, but it was really cool for 2 seasons, and
They had a Star Wars duel.
They really did.
I didn't even see that season. I haven't watched it since.
Has
So-
Has there been a
season.
show with a greater fall off? Wow. That show was so promising.
Game
It
of
was good.
Arrow.
Game of Thrones.
Well, Game of Thrones apparently is just
Jacob,
the
okay, Jacob.
last episode.
You
from
talking about
what
Games
I've
of Thrones, last episode, last season, there was a lot to get.
Well, no,
The
no,
flat-
no. Well,
the
no,
flat-
no, no. It's the entire last season. I don't think you guys don't understand how bad the last.
You can't. Okay, but you can't say that it's 8 seasons long, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah, you can't say that. You can't say 7 seasons were great, and the one season there was a little bit of a fall off. Now, the great fall off of Game of Thrones, the season, it was the last season. It didn't fall off. It just ended.
No, but you don't understand.
The
if
Flash
you
had
watch
2
the
good seasons.
show,
The rest are just
it was-
terrible.
Yeah.
It wasn't just it didn't just go down and it wasn't just worse. It was just significantly worse and awful in almost every single way. Everything they had built up for the entire series, they completely and totally fumbled.
Yeah, but no one watches The Flash anymore because it's bad. People had no option. They had to stop watching Game of Thrones because it was the last season. So how could it have fallen off? It just ended.
Okay, maybe it's just a bad choice of words then. But
Okay.
I think it still has. In terms of I would say in terms of the quality of the show versus the next thing that happened, I would say that Game of Thrones had a bigger gap than The Flash.
I don't know. I think the first 2 seasons of The Flash, there was so much hype around it. It was very interesting, kind of a breath of fresh air a little bit.
It's good.
And it was good, and it really just fell right off.
I recommend you guys watch Game of Thrones. I think you'll actually like it.
It's something
I-
I'll
listen,
get around to.
I mean, it's a very long watch, Jacob, and we are very busy college students at the moment.
And we talked about this on 2 episodes ago. I get very invested with shows, and once I start doing something like that, I'm gonna lose all my time, and I can't be wasting 2 hours because I got invested in Game of Thrones episodes right now.
I'm not saying you should watch it now. I'm just saying eventually.
Well, I will watch it eventually.
Yeah.
Maybe when
Yeah.
I'm like 100 years old, retired, and
Yeah, when
Well,
I
I mean,
actually have free time. So when I'm 70.
we are watching show like there are a bunch of shows out right now. Is anyone else? Am I the only one
well,
watching
hold
Stranger
on.
Things?
This is when I want to introduce our new segment. This is a perfect segue. So on the pod now, I think we want to start a new segment, and it's just going to be what are we watching right now? What are we watching?
Lab rats.
I watch I between like
No.
YouTube, between YouTube TVs and movies, whatnot. I feel like we all kind of watch things throughout the day when we have a little bit of downtime, and some of it for me is like super random, and some of it like makes sense. So I think it would be fun just to kind of see where everyone's watching, give recommendations to the audience, and hopefully we can hear a little bit back from the audience about what you guys are watching as well. So, Andres, you were talking about Stranger Things. Has that been what you've been watching recently?
Absolutely, that and Kenobi. But Stranger Things, I am done. Not the full season yet. I'm done. What's out because the rest is coming out July 1st, so I can't wait. I thought this season was phenomenal. Like it was a very good season. It was just so good. Like the whole show overall is just a great show. Season 2 is pretty not as good as the others, but I think it's really good. Do you guys watch Stranger Things?
No.
Eventually,
Never
I'll get
seen
to
one
it.
episode.
Wow,
I'll
it's
get to
such
the new season.
I didn't even
it's
have
such like
Netflix
a
when it was
big
coming out.
it's such like
It's
a
a good
big show
show.
to watch. Like it's like a Game of Thrones type show. Like it's for the culture. It's a big
I don't
pop
like
culture show.
to be honest. Like I'd never really have gotten like the appeal of per se. Like I no one's really given me like a good reason to watch it.
Do you like
Besides the
sci-fi?
fact that they like it, think well, I do love sci-fi,
Then watch it.
but like I just like I don't know. Like every time I ask people about it, they're just like, oh, it's really good. You should watch it. And I'm like, that's like the crappiest way to like
I mean, there's no
to
good
sell
way
your
to
sell your TV show.
There's not a good way to explain it without giving stuff away about the show. So
No, I get that. I definitely like should watch it. I'm sure I will enjoy it.
The first season's good.
I just feel like every time people tell me they're just like it's good, you should watch it, and like that just makes me not want to watch it.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
like-
good. You should watch it.
No, I would say it's not like Game of Thrones where like I've had confirmation from both Jacob and like my friend CJ back home that watched it that the first season's slow and drags a little bit compared to the others. Jacob, you confirm that?
Kind of like Clone Wars.
I would agree.
Yeah.
The first season, it's a lot of world building, but the ending of the season is going to shock you if you watch it.
Okay. But Stranger
shocker.
Things season 1 overall is just pretty. It doesn't like drag on. It's not like slow or boring. Like I think it's a great introductory season. Like it's a season where you're like, this is good. It's definitely up there as well. I don't know if it's the best. I loved 3 and this new one, but it's very good. So you definitely it's a very accessible show. Like you can hop right in, not like get bored fast.
Okay.
That's nice.
But yeah, like I remember like being in Spanish class in high school and hearing people talk about not Game of Thrones, but Stranger Things. I just didn't have Netflix, so I was like, all right, cool. Like I'm not gonna watch it, but and then when I got Netflix, I just never got around to watching it. So.
Matt, you got Netflix for the sole purpose of watching Stranger Things. You just never did.
Just paying the $12 a month just to not watch it.
Yeah.
All right, Jacob, what have you been watching?
Well, as I was saying earlier, I watched that Mr. Beast video, and I thought it was. It was an insane video. I didn't like it as much as his other ones that he's come out with recently, but it was still very well done. Pretty.
You are a Mr. Beast stan.
He gave away. So actually, has everybody seen the video? Or
I don't really think there's a spoiler alert for Mr. Beast videos.
Well, yeah, fair enough. But
I don't think that applies here.
Anyways, basically at the end of the video, the guy wins the chocolate factory, and obviously he's not going to be able to, take care of a factory that has a bunch of candy in it for a significant period of time. So instead of actually keeping the factory, Mr. Beast just gives him $500,000. So I think it's a pretty good, and that's not even like the biggest amount he's given away, so it's just wild. But watching that, Gideon has been coming out with some absolute crazy videos. The Sidemen also, they just did a 20 versus 1 with this guy named Philly that's in Beta Squad.
Philly's so funny.
He's really funny. The video is fantastic. Philly's got a good vibe. He's got good enough confidence when they're telling him to do ridiculous things. While he's on these dates with these women, he's he's making the most out of it. And then I actually started. I saw Legend of Korra on my Netflix, so I was like, I'm gonna watch 2 seasons of this. So that's man,
I
the
I don't
first
know about.
season.
Do you think Legend of Korra is has become underrated? Because some people get really offended by it, but like I think it's entertaining.
I think the first season is. I like the first season. I would say it's on par with the first season of. Uh, it's it's close to the first season of the last like of Avatar. The second and third season though, no, it's not even close. But the second season of Legend of Korra, I don't like. The fourth season also don't like as much, but it's still I would say it's still pretty good. The third season of Legend of Korra is better than the first season of Last Airbender. Like third season, absolute banger, very very good. It has like these 4 different people that are like very good at their respective bending that try to like take over the yeah so they try to take or like kill like the Avatar. Very good, very well done.
They should have won.
They probably
yeah.
should have won. I mean, honestly, they should have won. But for plot convenience and considering there's a 4th season, they couldn't. That's like I mean that's basically it. So I would say because of the second season, it gets a fair amount of hate, but I think it deserves the hate for the second season because it wasn't that good.
It was second season not good.
I've never finished Korra. I only watched like the first few episodes of the first season. That was it.
They
The
might come
first
out with the
season
key.
was good though. Like
Yeah, I know. I
liked
just
the
like
first season.
I don't know. It was all right.
Talking about coming out with a Kyoshi show too.
Really?
Ooh.
Yeah, the Kyoshi show and Netflix like a remake of the animated series has been
That'd
in
be so dope.
discussions.
Yoshi is
Well,
like
That'd be fire.
The animated real series, like the real like the live action Avatar that's been talked about, like that's pretty much confirmed going to happen, and just when it's going to happen. It's kind of like the Harry Potter TV show that's in the works. Like we all know it's coming. It's just like what the plot is and like stuff.
Wait, I did not know there was a Harry Potter TV show.
yeah.
You know about this?
No, what's that?
Only
It
the open
consumed
world
all of my thoughts for like 2 weeks.
game. I had not a clue.
Pretty much, Warner Bros. Like is now taking pitches for how they want to do like a TV series for like within the Harry Potter universe. So
What would it
the idea that's why they're taking pitches. So like
yeah.
like some common ones have been thought about within like a Harry Potter founder series. So kind of like following the life of like Godric Gryffindor, Rowena Ravenclaw, Helga Hufflepuff, and Salazar Slytherin as they built their schools, and ultimately what led Salazar to like depart from them and like kind of have his views about like the Muggles and Mudbloods and whatnot. So kind of like have that as an arc of the show. There's been a lot of talk about a Marauder series. So you see like James, Remus, Sirius, and Peter all at school and like doing mischievous things and maybe having like a big bad by the end of the season, but kind of seeing how they are. There's been talks about seeing Harry in his adult life and what he's kind of doing like as an Auror. Or there's just been talks about doing a whole series that's separate from like kind of how the Fantastic Beasts series is, where it's connected, but it's not like super connected. Which
It's like in the universe.
Yeah, I love the idea of a founder series because I think you can pretty much do whatever the hell you want with it and just be like, well, like look at they're so powerful. They built a whole school and like it's so far in the past that it doesn't really like it's not going to mess with continuity that much unless you unless you create a rule in the present that doesn't apply to the past. But like I don't know, they've been talking about that for a little bit. I don't know if they have a timeline for it. I don't even know how that process is going, but yeah, there has been talks about them like taking pitches of people like writing scripts and like showing up and offering it, which is super exciting. I would lose my mind when it comes out.
I would like the Marauders series. I wouldn't
Marauders
like
would be so fun.
Marauders would.
The Harry adult life one is boring.
No, I wouldn't like that at
no
all.
one wants to see him working at 9 to 5.
I would,
But you'd
not
watch
like
it.
I mean, I would
That's
probably
the-
would watch it, but, or I don't know honestly, because like I didn't watch
You-
Crimes. I didn't watch the
that really upsets me. I cannot believe you haven't watched them.
I can't believe it either. Honestly, I just have never gotten around to watching it. I swear, eventually I will watch it. But
Wait, you didn't watch the first Fantastic Beasts?
No, I watched the first one and I enjoyed it.
Okay,
I just didn't watch the
that's a
second
great
one.
movie.
Uh,
Okay,
I
Crimes
have
Grindelwald
it, I'm
sucks.
pretty sure like
Go drop a like on our recent tier list rankings. Thank you.
Harry Potter movies and content. Yeah.
But yeah, the like when I read The Cursed Child, I mean I don't think I liked it because it was written like as a play, but in general I just didn't find it like intriguing or engaging at all. I thought it would if you were to include it in the 7-book series. So it's like the 8 books. I thought it would be easily the worst, like not even close.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, 100%.
Like I thought it was just like the final seasons of Game of Thrones equivalent. Just and because there's it's another Harry Potter book that kind of continues the timeline. It was disappointing, and it picks up right after they 19 or 20 years later, something like that.
Yep.
So yeah, that would not be something I'd want at all.
Harry Potter, I don't know, I guess we can do a little roundtable too on this. Like, what fandom or like thing that you follow? Like Harry Potter is like my number one. Like all the sports teams I follow, all like the fandoms, like Marvel and Star Wars and like all this kind of stuff. It's Harry Potter for me. It's like if Harry Potter dropped something, that's where my money would go. So like if the series was dropped on HBO and I had no other access, like no people that could give me their HBO, I would pay $15 a month to watch the Harry Potter series because like it matters that much to me. Like, what is like your guys' like number one fandom, number one thing you follow, even if it's like a sports team or something? But like, it's always been Harry Potter for me, like on lock.
COD or Destiny 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we're talking solely stuff, I'll splash the cash on just because COD and Destiny 2. I don't care how bad it is. I don't care about the reviews.
Yep.
I will pay the yearly tax for it.
No, that's exactly like what I'm like the answers like I'm looking for. It's like, what do you always like go back to? It's like I could not watch a Harry Potter video or anything for like months, and then it's like I get super like back into it again. Like this new Harry Potter open world game is coming out like next year or like in November or something, and I could not be more excited. I have no time to play video games. I'm probably gonna buy this thing and barely play it, but I'm still super stoked for it. It's just Harry Potter, man.
For me, it's probably going to be either the Steelers or Alabama. Like this,
Arrow.
No, I mean,
there's not really that much new content now,
I mean, yeah, there's no new content. Like, I'll rewatch parts of it, but like at the same time, like,
okay. Say they came out with the 9th season.
What?
Say they came out with the 9th season. How long would it take you to watch it?
I'd probably watch it that day. Like, not gonna lie.
Yep.
Depending on how long the season is, if it's like a full like 20+ episode season, obviously I'm not gonna watch that in a day. I can't do that. But I'll try.
I mean, it's possible.
I'll try. I'll definitely try.
Hear me out. You watch it at 2 times speed like I do.
I don't think I could watch it at 2 times speed. I think I'd want to have it like just regular speed. But
yeah, I can't watch it 2 times speed.
Like,
Jacob, I think if you didn't have a long history with Alabama or the Steelers, Cobra Kai could become that for you.
I was just gonna say, I feel like
Kai.
that'd be something for all of us because like if there's something new with Cobra Kai, like a new season, we're all watching it.
Well,
ASAP.
I think we have a lot of similar interests, especially like Marvel related. But I think that Cobra Kai is like, well, Peter doesn't watch Cobra Kai.
It's on the upswing though. Like he just
Is he
doesn't
watching?
watch it out of spite though. Like I don't.
Yes,
think he's
okay.
interested,
That's
but
fine.
also out of spite.
But even with like Peter not watching it, I think it is a thing that the 5 of us like. If there's any Cobra Kai related content out, it gets sent in the group chat. If there's a trailer, it gets sent in the group chat. If there's a meme, it gets sent in the group chat. When it like releases, we all watch it within like the first 3 days of it being out. Like,
yeah,
it's like our group's thing is like Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai till the day I die. I mean, yeah, I agree with that. Like,
No mercy.
The reason why I would say like I'll rewatch Alabama football games like in its entirety.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you did this.
Like if I'm really, really bored and I have nothing to do, and it's like on a weekend, like I'll just rewatch a game that like I remember that was like a good game or something like that.
Like that Auburn game when they ran back was that against you guys?
Yeah, that in fact was against us. I believe it was the 2013 Iron Bowl. I in fact have not rewatched that game. I remember watching it live and I cried after it. So
I would too. That was tough.
I mean,
surely they won't
like,
run a pick play on the 2-yard line.
Well, people don't understand because what happened with that game is there was a play to set up the field goal beforehand, and they were debating whether or not there was enough time.
Was it a pick play?
No, it wasn't a pick play, but they were debating whether or not T.J. Yeldon had stepped out of bounds with enough time, with I guess 1 second on the clock or something like that, so the kick could get off. And on top of that, Alabama's regular kicker had been he had an awful game. He missed probably three. I want to say maybe three field goals or something like that in the game. So that didn't even need to happen. That was totally avoidable. And then they decided there was enough time left on the clock, and then they kick it, and they return it. It was
objectively though, it's one of the coolest memories, one of the coolest moments in sports history.
100%. I have to understand. That's a crazy moment. It sent Auburn. It's a huge rivalry game. It sent Auburn to the SEC championship. They won the SEC championship, and then they went on to lose to Florida State in the national championship game. But
still a great season.
it was a great season for them. But I know I have no. To answer your question, I've never rewatched that game. I don't think I would rewatch a game that Bama lost unless maybe if I were to rewatch a game, it might be the Bama Clemson game the first time Bama lost to them, or the first time they lost some while I've been following college football.
Surely they won't run a pick play on the 2-yard line.
Surely they wouldn't.
Dabo would never do that.
He has enough, morality,
self-respect,
to not run play like that.
Surely Hunter Renfrow won't do something like that.
Surely Deshaun Watson wouldn't, run that play and throw a touchdown pass. He would have thought.
Okay, Raj, what are you watching? What have you been watching?
Oh, there's a big list. So first we have AK lectures for biochem.
Absolutely. AK lectures for biochem on lock.
Please, he is so helpful. But besides the school stuff, Jacob did get me back into lab rats at one point because we were in a rabbit hole one night at our place. We were going through a bunch of stuff on Disney Plus, and Jacob said, "Look up lab rats if it's still there."
Well, I've been watching Spin on repeat.
Please, I hate Spin. No, we're not even talking about Spin. Jacob, you got more invested in Spin than me.
Jacob was so invested in Spin.
Which one?
Bro, it's the one about the Indian DJ.
Oh, that. No, wait, you watched that? Did you watch that, Justin?
No, I didn't watch it.
No, the ending of that we all can agree was pretty bad.
No, terrible Jacob, endings. You were more invested in that movie than I was.
The ending was
for context, everyone. For context, we were at Raj, Andres, and Peter's house, and we had just finished watching the first 2 episodes of Obi-Wan, which I highly recommend seeing Obi-Wan if you're a Star Wars fan and you haven't checked it out yet. First three episodes are great. So we were watching the first 2 episodes, and somehow we made our way onto Disney Plus, and we were watching these shorts and whatnot. And then we pull up this movie called Spin, and it's about an Indian girl who's trying to become a DJ and win this competition. So we start flipping through the movie, and Raj is just making fun of the movie every step of the way through. But then Raj was skipping through it, so we wouldn't catch key plot points. And Jacob and I wanted to keep going back so we could figure out what the plot was about, but Raj kept skipping through it. But the movie ended. It was just a corny Disney movie.
Well, also,
essentially.
Also with the movie, they didn't you got the plot of the movie probably 3/4 into the movie itself.
Yeah.
So it was a bad movie, but the ending itself was also just atrocious because that just made no sense.
DJ Max.
Oh my god! Don't get me started on it. I thought the plot was gonna be her parents not wanting her to be a DJ or something. Actually, challenging something that's a legitimate issue, especially with the Indian community. But no, it's just the fact this guy she thought she had a thing with didn't have a thing with him, and then went against her in a DJ finals.
And she rocked him. She laid down the finest beat. Took DJ Max Union down.
Moving on from how bad I hate Spin, I'm never looking at it again. I hate it with a passion.
DJ Max Union versus Rhea.
Yeah, oh my god. But yes,
atrocious.
In that rabbit hole we were on, Jacob mentioned Lab Rats, and I did not finish the 4th season of Lab Rats, so I decided to, catch up on what I missed out on and then finish up the 4th season. And to my surprise, I found out there was a collab between Lab Rats and Mighty Med, which I never watched Mighty Med before, but they did a collab to create a super team, and I'm on like episode 5 of that. So I mean,
Is this like so?
this is like
Is this different from like the? So is Lab Rats like officially done now?
yeah, Lab Rats is officially done. No, this other show is officially done. They were out for one season and got canceled.
Oh no! So they don't even finish off the
Yeah.
story. Oh, that's
The crossover.
Yeah,
The
but
crossover
basically it's like these shows that show that I watch, I literally put it on in the background while I do work just so I have something like just giving me some like noise. But like besides that, I mean, Mr. Beast, yeah, I watch him whenever he releases once a month or like once every 3 months now, whatever it is. Right now I'm on my big Destiny phase. It has a stranglehold on me, so I'm always watching like videos on how to be a better like player and like how to
How to be good.
how to have the best gear so I can just cheese everything. Which Andres has like seen me do before with me raining solar grenades from the sky.
Yeah.
And I do have a new one I need to show you, but yeah, so I've been on that, and then I mean I was gonna start Stranger Things, but I'm waiting until I can watch with my girlfriend.
Mm,
So
as one does.
yeah, me being wholesome for once. Who knew?
What a thought.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. And then besides that, I mean, like I haven't really like found and Kenobi. I mean, I'm waiting for that show. I'm gonna probably watch it at 3 a.m. again, like I always do with all these Disney shows. But I mean,
Raj, we have a biochem exam the next day.
no, it's coming out today.
No, it
Yeah,
comes
it's
out on
tonight.
Wednesday.
No,
No,
it's
it's
Tuesday.
tonight.
tonight.
It's,
Tuesday
it's
going into
tonight.
Wednesday.
If it comes out,
Oh.
say it comes out at 3 a.m. on that day.
Yeah.
Oh.
You thought I was gonna stay awake? No, okay.
Yeah. Yes, I did. I did think you were going to stay awake till 3 a.m. when we had a biochem exam at 9 a.m. It would not have stopped you.
What if it was the
Just
okay? So simulation. What if it was the finale of Kenobi?
Based
No.
off of how well I was doing in the class, I would do it.
Okay, interesting.
Fair enough.
No.
Just based off the class itself, I would. If it wasn't biochem, I'd heavily probably do it. But since it's biochem, it's gonna be like a game time decision.
What if it was the?
And it's most.
All right, keep on going.
It's most likely I probably would have went to bed after taking like 4 melatonin. But
What if it was this?
I mean, what were you?
What if it was the series finale for Cobra Kai?
I would have
That
watched
doesn't-
it all beforehand anyway.
And what? Yeah,
Yeah,
it all
because this
releases
the
at the
Netflix
same
drops.
time. Jacob, you know I watch everything same day.
That is true. I remember getting a
At
We
all
got-
time speed.
We need to do it. We need to do a marathon when Cobra Kai out. Like we need to like show up at one of our houses and just sit there for 8 hours and
So
order
I
and
expect
order
y'all to be on
Domino's
my-
and Taco
I'm
Bell.
down for that.
Y'all got to be at my place at 4 a.m. then because I'm starting it. As soon as
That's
it drops
fine.
on
I'm pretty
Netflix.
sure there's. I think there might
I'm
be a
game.
new deal this month for Domino's, but I remember.
Let's
I
go.
remember watching Cobra Kai when it was like literally on YouTube Red, and like I was like,
yeah, that was the OG
that
days.
was like so OG Cobra Kai. And I was like, you know what, this show's kind of cool. And they got moved to Netflix, and they kept on adding seasons. And then I remember Raj calling me up like over break at some point saying, "Yeah, I've already seen the new season for Cobra Kai." And it's like
It's 7 a.m.
it's so early, and I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? But I still watched it like as soon as like I got off.
We all watched it so fast.
Yeah, I thought
But
I
Raj-
watched it fast in 5 days. Jeez.
No, I think I was like 3 days. You were like 5 or 3 or 2 days. Anders, you were like 5 days. Jacob was like 2 days. But
No.
Raj watched it in like 4
I
hours.
watched it.
Jacob finished
I
same
watched it
day.
same day, slower than Ron.
Same day? Okay.
Because he watched.
I finished the show in
Well,
about
Raj
5 hours.
Raj watched it before the sun rose.
True.
No, I've watched it through the sunrise.
What do you think it is about Cobra
was-
Kai? Like,
It was too perfect though, because it was winter break. Like we had nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Like, we just watched Cobra Kai.
It's
My
it's
sister
because it
got
hooks
so-
you. It hooks you. It doesn't matter how stupid it is. It's like
but like,
Dude,
It-
I want to see the cartel in Cobra Kai where Miguel has to fight off the cartel with Johnny and Robbie. I
That probably
can't wait
will
for that.
happen. That probably will happen. The acting is
cannot wait.
terrible, but like,
I
what
don't
is
care.
it? What is it? Like, is it the lore behind it? Like the Karate
It's
Kid
for
Cobra Kai
the
lore?
soul of the valley.
I think it's because, and I genuinely think it's because they leave all their episodes on pretty much like cliffhangers or whatnot, and then also it's like it's just the high school teen like drama crap, and you're just like you're invested. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, like it doesn't make for a good story. When you have like really good storytelling, I don't think every episode's a cliffhanger because like you're working towards something big. Like the Cobra Kai finales are never something where I'm like, that was so poetic. I'm so glad they did it that way. But like when you like I don't know, when you watch like Avatar: The Last Airbender, you're like that was a well done story throughout the entire time. But like it's not like every episode you're like leaving on like the edge of your seat about what's gonna happen. Because I think when you do that, when you sacrifice the greater story to have cliffhangers at the end of every episode, it doesn't make the whole project as good as a whole. But like it works so well with Cobra Kai just because you cannot put it down. Like
You can't.
Yeah. What season are they on? 5 or 4?
Four.
Five.
Oh,
gotta
five.
be on
Five.
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 Yeah,
Five.
five.
Yeah.
Five.
See,
Yeah,
the
five.
reason why I'm so hyped behind 5 is because they're bringing Chosen back.
it's gonna be
Yeah,
so
that's
sick.
hype. That's hype.
Like,
That's hype.
Oh,
dude's
it's
about
so-
dude's about to teach him all like the muscle blocking stuff,
That's hype.
whatever.
Oh, I'm so
What do you mean,
excited.
like the muscle blocking?
And like whenever
Like
he
when
got
he
the
hits a joint, when he hits a joint, it
Yeah.
goes
oh,
limp.
like
Like
the
limp,
walking
yeah.
in, after the last
Yeah.
Yeah. That Ty Lee
yeah,
would
like the
do.
Ty Lee
Remember-
stuff.
Remember when Daniel was fighting
Crease.
Kreese and he was literally like scared because he couldn't move,
Yeah.
Oh.
and then he was pretty much gonna like kill him or something, and
Are we
then
just
like
gonna ignore the fact Crease was about to commit homicide?
I think we are.
yeah he was.
Well, now
Like,
we have
how
a
is-
new villain. Now we
how
have
is-
Kreese is locked up. We have a new
Oh,
villain
dude,
now.
dude.
Yeah.
Terry's always been insane.
Terry's psycho.
Crazy.
Well, we should have known better than to think he was normal.
I did
like-
not think that dude was normal from the jump.
Late spoiler alert.
They
doesn't
should have
matter.
they should have already watched the extra
I think
cycle
Yeah.
that we referenced in.
I-
It's their
They should have
fault.
watched the show to watch the extra cycle. Because
Yeah.
Cobra Kai was actually made with the extra cycle in
No, no,
mind.
no, no.
Mind.
Just to
Absolutely.
watch this episode.
hence our like 5 downloads.
No, I think I think we need to have another Cobra Kai extra cycle. I think that should be the first extra cycle that is,
If we do, we need to all rewatch it and be like and go through the entirety of Cobra
I am
Kai. We need to
so
put a
down
lot
to
of energy
watch
into
Cobra
it.
Kai again.
Plus the Karate Kid movies.
No,
We gotta
no,
make it a
no,
whole
no.
Karate
Bro,
Kid.
I
extra
would
cycle.
totally do it after June 23rd.
Yes.
All right.
Once
After
Naruto's
June
June
done,
24th.
I have all the time in the
June
world.
24th, we are
Kinda.
watching Cobra Kai.
Well,
I can watch June 23rd night. Like
July 3rd when I get back from Jersey, but
Damn. All right, July. So okay,
I'm a real one. I'll start watching before then, Jacob.
we will finish the show. Like the movies, okay, but like the show, come on. And I know Peter.
Yeah.
Like,
movies can take it. We can finish the movies in a day.
The
Karate
movies are
Kid,
great.
Cobra
I
Kai.
haven't seen the third.
Karate Kid was created with Cobra Kai in
Exactly.
mind.
Oh my
100%.
god, Peter would start
100%.
screaming.
well, Peter won't. I
Peter
will bet
would.
Peter won't listen to this, but like, you're 100% right, Justin.
Well, he'll have to listen to it if we make this a clip.
That we are making this part of clip. Clip this.
Ooh. Then you-
I'll hit Marcus clip right on the screen, so I'll remember now. But no, what have I been watching recently? Transitioning away from our Cobra Kai agenda. I haven't really been watching much. I've been watching a lot of biochemistry lectures, as one does. I've been watching a lot of McJugger nuggets on YouTube.
That's a throwback and a half.
Yeah, because I saw one of his new videos and I was like, man, the Psycho series used to
He still uploads.
oh yeah,
Interesting.
like occasionally. It's a lot more like he did a lot of like other stories, but like everyone knew they were fake, so it wasn't like as big a deal. I never really watched those. And then he uploads some more stuff now, but it's like more about like now it's like his normal life and stuff. So it's like kind of cool to see like Jesse as someone who's not pretending.
Yeah.
But now I've gone back and watched some of the old episodes I used to watch. Like I used to like pretty much wait for every single because he used to post twice daily during the height of the Psycho series. So like because for a whole year he posted pretty much like twice daily, and I would watch every single episode. And he acts so stupid because in this recent episode he's pretending. If people haven't watched, Mick Juggernaut goes on YouTube. It's called the Psycho series. He has them all uploaded. Essentially, it's like he's pretending. Him and his whole family are pretty much acting, and it's like his dad pretty much destroys all of his stuff all the time. He's not physically abusive, but he's pretty much like mentally abusing his son, like by taking stuff, always telling him to get a job and all this kind of stuff. And he continues a whole series. He like pretty much vlogs it the whole time, but he's pretending. They're completely lying about it, but it seems real because there's so many videos out there, and you think it's fake. Like I used to be like, there's no way
that's
that.
real.
No, I would always be like, it's fake. Like after a big Psycho video, like where he destroyed, I was like, that's totally fake. But then he would post twice daily of him doing this stuff. I was like, he can't be faking it that much.
Exactly.
So then you get invested and you see this season finale and you're like, oh, it is fake. And then you're like, oh, you're sad it's gone. But I've been going back and watching. I watched a documentary that some guy made on it. And then I've been watching some of the old episodes, and it's just funny because he's getting this job and he's just acting like an idiot. Like he does the shirt wrong, like he does it intentionally, but you think he does it wrong. He's just like incompetent, and it's just like it's just funny. I've been watching some of those throwback videos. Obi-Wan Kenobi, been great. Been watching that. NBA Finals, have been watching that.
Andrew Wiggins is that guy.
But yeah, he is indeed. And I guess on that note, I think this is a good stopping point for the podcast. We are at an hour and 25 minutes, which might be the longest podcast episode to date, but I think we had a lot to talk about, so it was good. If you guys are watching on YouTube, make sure you drop a like, subscribe. It really helps the channel a lot. If you're on podcast, make sure you leave a 5-star review. It also helps out a lot. Go to Instagram, like our post, share our post. It really helps us out, helps us grow a little bit as we continue the podcast grind. Use code WASH20 at buckedup.com, and we will see you guys next time on the Washed Athlete Podcast.
Peace out.
Go Steelers, go Kenny Pickett, go Bengals. Arrow sucks.